reality versus social media becomes so blurry. We're so worried about who gonna go half on a vacation, who's the prize, who's not the prize. Y'all are way down on level 10, and y'all can't even get past level 1, 2, and 3.
All I'm gonna say is, Big Mel, Big Melanie, listen, Melanie. That's my favorite. That's my review. That's my whole review. Shout out to Melanie. Ain't she pretty as shit? Hashtag you coming or you not, and my now walked in the door and she was coming.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P podcast. I'm your girl, Melanie P, and we're here to have another conversation. Listen, y'all are getting a little bit feisty about my last episode regarding Kendrick Lamar, but it is what it is, you know? I was watching one of my favorite people to watch on YouTube, Funky Dineva, and he posted something that I really wanted to talk about on this episode today. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, make sure that you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you comment, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, so if you listen to this clip, Funky Dineva is talking about basically men are revolting against this city girl culture, this city girl mentality.
I honestly think that it is women like you that carry this attitude is why the men are staying home. And I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I think it has less to do with them being broke. Sure, there are some that are broke. I think it has less to do with them being broke and more to do with them rebelling against city girl culture. I think it has less to do with them being broke and more to do with them about rebelling against this city girl culture. Somewhere along the way, you know, ladies, y'all started popping y'all ish, and that's fine and well. That's fine. Pop your ish, ladies. Get y'all degrees, get y'all jobs. Y'all deserve all of it. Not mad at it. There is not a man alive. There's not a mom and a dad that raises their son to say, go out in the world and let women use you. And I think that it's gotten to a point now where men are tired of overtly being used. And this is not all women, but it is some that abide by this city girl culture. And I'm talking about the crab leg, lemon pepper, hookah girl crowd. I'm talking about y'all girls. This whole notion of I can't eat Cheesecake Factory. I got to go to this place. I got to go to that place. If I'm going on a date, he need to pay for my hair and he need to pay for my outfit. And this new line that y'all use, which is just absolutely ridiculous to me, which is, do you know how much it costs me to get dressed for a date? He need to pay for all of that. And you know what? Good, fine. If that's your belief system, then have at it. But the pickings are going to be slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. I honestly think this has less to do with men being broke and more to do with them rebelling against city girl culture, because on the dating scene, women automatically have the hands up. You guys automatically have the upper hand on the dating scene. The expectation is that.
And when it comes to the city girl culture, this high value man, all this toxic stuff that we have in conversations when it comes to dating back and forth, my true honest opinion is that this shit ain't real. Like, I don't believe that there's such an influx of women who believe that they are city girls and that they, you know, if you go out on a date with them, then you need to pay for their sitter, pay for their food, pay for their sitter, pay for their nails, pay for their hair, take into account that they had to spend money to get their nails and feet done, and you need to pay if you're taking them out. I just truly do not believe that is the majority of women. I do not believe that that is the majority of the way women think. City girl culture. What the hell is city girl culture? Let's kind of dig into that. City girl culture. City girl culture is basically, if I'm sleeping with you, you better be paying me. Like, let's keep it a buck. That's city girl culture. City girl culture is, you know, pay for my nails, pay for my hair. Do not take me to Cheesecake Factory. Do not take me to Chili's. Matter of fact, don't even take me to a place. Don't take me to a bar. Don't take me to any kind of chain on our first date. You better take me to Steak 48 or, you know, Dressler's or wherever the poppin' place is in your city. Like, that is what city girl culture is, as I believe that Funky Dineva is referring to. Where did this shit come about? City girl culture to me stems from music. Stems from music, stems from a lot of the female artists, a lot of the female rap artists, and I think that it has taken on a life of itself. In the same way that Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, in his high value toxicity conversation, and you're no better than a 3, and if you got these kids and baby daddies, then you'll be lucky if you even get married. Like, all that drama, I feel like is just stems from Kevin Samuels and a lot of these like rappers and, city girls, like the actual literal city girls. Like, I feel like that's where this stuff stems from. And we know that music can be very, very influential. Like, we listen to, I listen to Sexy Red. I just listen to the most, vulgar song, and I had it on repeat yesterday when I was working out, and it was very vulgar. And again, I'm a grown woman, so I'm not out here trying to replicate what I hear in the music, but I think that these millennials and these these men and women who are coming up in this dating space now, I think in their like 20s and 30s, they are being taught and they are trying their best to emulate what they see on social media and what they hear in the lyrics. Social media. This is where I believe social media truly does us a disservice, because reality versus social media becomes so blurry. People thinking that someone's highlight reel, or, the group of people who maybe are rich and maybe are traveling and, maybe aren't working a 9 to 5. They're literally just being content creators. Like, that is what you have to build yourself up to. The men, the Russell Wilson, those type of men, that's the norm. Like, if I'm an everyday girl, working a job or, having my own business, then I want what Sierra has. I want that Russell Wilson to come tell me I ain't got to work no more, buy me the biggest ring that you can buy me, buy out a whole Waffle House because you want to take me out on a date. That is beautiful. And I think that that's great, that that's somewhat of your goal, is to be with a provider. Another key word, another key word in this day and age is provider. Like, people have really lost what the true word and the true definition of a provider is. A lot of people associate that to material. But child, the material things is not going to give you a healthy relationship. And that's why we are doomed as it stands right now. But I guess the real question for me is this shit real? Is it true? Now, maybe because I'm older and I'm not in this millennial energy of it all, maybe I'm delusional, but I don't think that this is the reality. I don't think that this city girl culture is as big and as a issue as possible as people would want you to think. I don't believe that the average woman, and I could be wrong, and I really want to know in the comments. I don't know if I believe that the average woman, the average Black woman, is expecting for a man on a first date to pay for hair, nails, clothes, outfit, take you to an expensive restaurant. I don't know if I really believe that is the majority of how this dating stuff works. And if that's the case, when you go back to this post, men are not as interested in going out as much as women. And this lady puts in the comments, well, because they're broke. Is that true? And here's the thing, that could actually be true. Based off what I see, based off what I read, it seems like Black women are earning much higher than Black men. They're going out on vacations. They are, buying their nice high rises. They're, like he said, very educated. They have their accolades, this, that, and the third. And maybe they are they're creating a life for themselves that they may want not to be with a man who can also create that life that they're creating for themselves for them. And so when this lady says that, well, they're broke, well, that's a bad way of putting it. Maybe they're not broke, but maybe they're not up to your financial standard, right? And so here's the thing. A lot of people say that's the case. A lot of people say that black women are out earning black men. Black women are out educating, are out educated by black men. Black women are buying homes, at a much higher rate than single black men are. And if that's the case, the very next statement that people are going to say, especially a black man, is that, well, either you're going to settle, be single with your cats, or you're going to attach yourself to a man who may not make the same amount of money as you make, but maybe he doesn't make that same amount of money, but maybe he can build a house. Maybe he can fix shit in your house. Maybe he has other skills that, are just as good, if not better, than having a man who, okay, I make six figures, you got to make six figures. And I think that that's also where the social media of it all, the city girl culture of it all fucks us up, is because it's an age old question that I always hear on these men podcasts and just in conversation, which does make sense. It does make sense, and I do not hear a lot of conversation surrounding this. Would you rather have $100,000 in your household, or would you rather have $180,000 in your household? Meaning, would you rather have your six-figure job, period, hard stop, that's it? Or would you rather have your six figures, his $80,000, and y'all pull it together and y'all live a beautiful life? And if you would take what social media is presenting, what Funky Dineva is saying, it seems like these city girl culture women are not willing to take this 80K man, this 60K man, this 50K man, and attach it to their 100, to her 100K to have $150,000 household. Now, 50K that's a bit much. That's a deep dive, 50K. But if you even look at the Kendra G show, and this is what kind of makes me cringe. Women keep coming on this show saying that they need a man that makes six figures. Half the time, they don't even make six figures on this show. And if he makes, $80,000 a year, don't even contact me. And that's so stupid. That is so dumb. But that is a true case study of women are actually saying this. So again, it goes back. Do you want to have your $100,000 in your home by yourself, lonely? Maybe you're not lonely. Or would you rather have an amazing black man with you who has his little, his $80,000, maybe not six figures, but he got that $80,000 and he is actually a valuable asset to you, your children, and building a black family? Like, that's where I just don't know if this city girl culture shit is real. And if it's real, if it's not real, are women open to what I just said? Are they open to taking their six figures, this man's $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, pulling it together and then growing it from there? Now, I've had this conversation a lot with one of my brothers, and he always says that the black women's problem is that they don't want to take, the blue collar man's $60,000, $70,000 a year and attach it to their own. And that's why these black families cannot grow and cannot flourish. And I think that one of the things that he is missing in his conversation and in his response is that maybe if you're 20 years old, 25 years old, even in your early 30s, I'll give you the mid 30s. But when you start getting up there in age, 40s, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, it's a different conversation when, I'm settled. I'm an older woman. I have my money. I have my businesses. I'm very motivated to, get to the bag. And I don't know if I want to attach my get to the bag mentality to a man who is 45 years old, got a bunch of kids, and, he's okay at 45, 50 years old, making $60,000 a year. That's a whole other conversation. It's two different situations. These city girl culture type people, this young generation, 20s and 30s, yes, I do think that you should be open to building with your partner, right? But I can see the hesitation in, okay, I'm 45, I got my own house, I got my own business, I am financially doing well, I have peace in my home. Do I want to attach somebody's dusty son to my situation who can't even pay for a vacation at a big age of 40, 45? or 50, 50 years old. Like, that's where it does get blurry. And I think that's where you get to these women like on listen to Black Women podcast, right? Madame Noir. That's where I definitely hear what they're saying and I align with them in terms of those women are 40 and up. Most of those women are, well, I guess they're 40 and up. I'm assuming they're 40 and up. And they're very successful. Claudia Jordan, very successful. She got her money. L'Oreal, very successful, got her money, got her rhythm, now they don't have kids. I will say, I don't think none of them have kids. I don't even think none of them have been married. But at the end of the day, if you 45, 50 years old, do you want to give up your peace for someone who's going to rob you of it potentially? And when you have all these back-to-back, like Melissa Ford, back-to-back, bad situations, bad experiences with men not adding value to your life and, kind of throwing the wool over your eyes, then at some point you become one of those women who are happy with their cat in their condo, going out to brunch. Like this man said, women be outside. Women be outside, going to brunch, going on trips with their friends, with their cats, no kids, keep it moving. And they're fine in that lane because they have given it a run. And now they just ready to run up out of here because they don't want to give up their peace. I was literally talking to one of my friends yesterday and she was saying that she is 60 years old and she is transitioning to a space to where she is going to be single. And she's happy with that. When I literally asked her, I said, hey, how are you mentally? How are you mentally? And the first thing out of her mind is that she has peace. She has peace. So we're talking about two different groups, maybe three different groups of people when it comes to the city girl culture. We got the old lady city girl people who are been there, done that. I'm not pressed to find, to be with no man. Give me my clean house. Give me my give me my peace of mind. I'm good with that. You can keep it. If I find a man, I'm fine. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. Then you have on the whole other spectrum of that, you have the city girl mentality, younger girls who are pay for my hair, no Cheesecake Factory, pay for my sitter, give my kid a little to go play, all this stupid stuff. And I think that those city girl women, I don't think that is the majority of women, but I really, really want to know. Now, he made a comment that women automatically have the upper hand in the dating scene. Do women automatically have the upper hand in the dating scene? Honestly, I don't really feel like women or men have the upper hand in the dating scene. I'm gonna tell you why. From what I hear, the dating scene is very full of dirty toilet water. And if I am just assuming based off what I hear, the dating experience is just basically Russian roulette. It is literally Russian roulette. You gonna roll that little roll your gun revolver, and either you're gonna have a good experience, a bad experience, a horrible experience, some type of trauma, and if you're lucky, you're gonna get out of it a long-term, successful, healthy partnership relationship, right? But I don't think that it's on one side or the other. I don't think that men have the upper hand. I don't think that women have the upper hand because it's so many people and it's almost like a revolving door. It's literally like a revolving door. It's literally like a revolving door in the sense that people are getting divorced, people are getting separated, people are getting married. It's new niggas outside that was not outside, 2 months ago, 2 years ago. It's new women outside who was not outside 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. It's literally revolving. It's revolving. Dropping a new person in, taking them off the market. Dropping a new person in, taking them off the market. And you got to just get in where you fit in. If you find somebody, you do. If you don't, you don't. I don't think men have it easier. I don't think that men have the upper hand. I don't think that women have the upper hand. I also do not think that the majority of women have this city girl attitude. Now I'm trying to think about my conversations that I have with my single guy friends. And I guess when I think about that, a lot of them have complained about women wanting these soft lives, women wanting these fancy restaurants. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. And I feel like if you're a man and you find something wrong with a woman wanting to rest in her femininity, wanting to rest in a soft life, then I think that you need help, because what do you want to rest in femininity? Do you want to have the soft life? Because a lot of men out here, that's what it's giving. A lot of men. Now, that's the one thing I will say, the shit that is true, that I agree with. And I hate to agree with it, but I do. I have seen it. I have experienced it. I have heard it. Men want to be the princesses. Men are wanting to be the princesses. I do feel like that is a true statement. Not all. But I do feel like it's an issue where these roles have really, they've been mixed up. These roles have been mixed up, really nasty mixed up. And I think also that's where the disrespect comes from. I think women are not respecting men because they're like, and I've heard my friends say this, I say this, you not like how my daddy was. Like, you know what I'm saying? I talk to my mom now, and she's still having trauma from having to take out her trash. She's having trauma from having to put her own gas in her car. Like, my dad has been gone for several years, and she still don't even like the idea of the fact that she got to put her own gas in her car. One of my good friends was saying this too. She was like, she's actually married. Her husband is a really good friend of mine. And they had this conversation my thought process was, when I got married, you were going to have that masculine role, that masculine energy in the home, and things like putting gas in the car, servicing my vehicle. If something's wrong with my car, you got it. A lot of men ain't doing that. And a lot of women are having to show up in these more masculine spaces because the men are not showing up in the masculine space. And then that's where we have debate culture, because men are mad that women are being too masculine, and then women are mad that men are being too feminine. And I really think that is a really good conversation that we need to have in a healthy manner, and come to that conversation with understanding. Because, so me personally, I look to my brothers. All of them are very much masculine men. They definitely try their best to reflect what my dad showed in the household. Me as a woman, I have a certain expectation from a man to show up in the way that I see my brother show up, and I see that my dad showed up. And so for me, when you're not showing up like that, and when you don't even have the desire to learn to show up like that, then it's like, okay, well, what do I need you for? Because, if I'm having to do the shit that a man should do, then why I need you? Like, why do I need you here? And here's a prime example. One of my brothers, when he first got married, he didn't know shit about fixing no car. He didn't know shit about hooking up anything in a house. He couldn't fix shit. But you know what he did? When he got married, he said, you know what? I'm somebody's husband. I am somebody's father. So if shit break in my house, I want to learn how to fix it. I want to be that masculine energy in my home that if something breaks, I'm going to fix it. And if I can't fix it, I'm going to research how to fix it. And if I can't research how to fix it and figure it out, then I'm going to pay for somebody to get it done. There's going to be steps before my woman got to even involve herself in a oh shit, something broke situation. I got to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And then it even goes back to a lot of fathers are not even in the homes. So with these fathers not being in the homes is making women show up in a more masculine space. And revolving door. When these masculine women go out there on the dating scene, maybe they have some kind of trauma. They have trauma from having to, wear these masculine masks. They have trauma, and then they might put their trauma on a man, and then, it's just a pit full of niggas need therapy. It's a pit full of we need therapy. We all need therapy. We all need therapy. He talks about women being the prize. I think I kind of spoke more to that a little bit more. I don't even think that we're at a space to where we can say, is a man a prize? Is a woman a prize? A good friend of mine said this to me recently, and I said, that's the realest shit. We're so worried about who gonna go half on a vacation, who buying these plane tickets, who's the prize, who's not the prize. Y'all are down here. Y'all are way down on level 10, and y'all can't even get past level 1, 2, and 3. Who is going to pay for a plane ticket if y'all go on vacation? Y'all gotta get to a year or 3 months, 6 months of a healthy relationship before that even becomes a issue. You're not even getting past the first date. You're not even getting to the date because you have a city girl mentality and you're thinking, well, if he can't pay for my sitter, then I'm not even gonna go out with you. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma. We are having conversations that are for down the line. We having conversations about, am I going to be with a man that wants me to pay 50% of the bills? I don't have a man. So that's not a concern for me. I ain't paying this woman's half of this woman's bills, but you can't because you can't afford it. Or you ain't got a woman. Or you can't even pay for this lady's date. You can't even pay for the first date. So you arguing about not paying for half of a person's bills when you can't pay for an initial date? What are we talking about here? It all comes down to healthy communication in this city girl culture, in this debate culture. Put that shit behind us. And I feel like that kind of goes to what I was saying about the whole Kendrick Lamar performance that people are wanting to come at me for. It's great. It was a great performance with the Where's Waldo's clues and, we letting people know, whatever. That's great. Let them know. Okay, that's nothing new. Let them know, whatever. But there's things that you have to do before you, letting them know isn't enough. Letting them know that's not enough. I can let you know that I want you to subscribe to this channel, but I got to give you, there's an action. There's actions and changes that have to take place. So I can let you know, hey, I have a great podcast. I have videos, new videos all the time. I need you to subscribe so I can pay my bills. That's what letting you know. But you have to listen to what I'm saying, and buy into what I'm saying, and then find value in what I'm saying to invest and subscribe if that makes sense. Now, the one thing I will say, and I've done it myself, and I'm gonna pull my own card here. He talked about women going on dates for free food. Ooh, now. That's a scary one. It's truly not fair to these men who, in a perfect world, in a traditional world, in a morally mature world, the men should be paying for the dates. Period, point blank. The first date, the second date. The man should be paying. That's just how I feel. But it's not fair to them when you know you don't like this man, but you just want to go out for a free meal. I really think that that's where, we got to put our big girl pants on, our big guy pants on, and use our discernment and be like, is this person using me, or do they really like me? Can I afford this date, or can I not afford this date? Because I'm just hoping that maybe they don't really like me, but maybe if I take them to this really nice dinner, then maybe they will like me. Come on, use your brain. You should use your brain. And it is wrong. Men have a lot on their shoulders when it comes to this dating piece in terms of date, find a place, plan a date. But at the end of the day, honey, because I said this to my friend last night, that's why you a man. The race isn't given to the swift. I'm an innocent, delicate flower. I'm an innocent, feminine energy, soft, delicate woman that you're courting for my time. And so at the end of the day, it comes with being a man to have this extra level of responsibility. But if your funds are limited, or if your time is limited, or whatever the case might be, then you better be smart about who you choose to invest that time and money in. But women, please be better about that. I guess. I don't know. Because I do like a good meal, child. And then he closed it with saying that women will have to bring unrealistic standards down, and men think that they're the shit, and women think that they're the shit. And that's a period hard stop. And that is our problem. And I have to agree. I really have to agree. I think that social media, this music, that's why, again, not to keep talking about Kendrick Lamar, but it's okay, great. He has a song, Beyonce got so many songs talking about Black Power. That ain't changed shit. You know what I'm saying? That really hasn't changed shit. It's just songs. It's just lyrics. People are not moved to make political change or any kind of change, because then people was in my comments talking about, oh, politics. It's not just about politics. We know it's not just about politics. But at the end of the day, music ain't our savior. Like, music is just words on a piece of paper. It's a performance. We've been performing since blackface. You know what I'm saying? We've been performing forever. It's not the performance that's going to move and make change. It's actually actions, doing something. I don't know what, but it's not just performing and singing. But I do think that social media and Instagram has really just screwed up people's lens on what reality is. And I think that, you know, men are holding themselves. I do agree to this. Like, I literally will never forget. And I had a video about it when I wasn't, back like a year ago. I had a video about it, like my first encounter with a man who said he was a high value man and had some very stupid stuff to say. And I had never really experienced a man who gave his own self a title of high value man when he was the total opposite of a high value man. You know, to me, most men that I encounter that refer to themselves as high value men are the most unhigh value, mentally fucked up, insecure niggas you could ever meet. And we all delusional, child. Everybody out here delusional. The women out here, do not talk about Birkin bags or Louis Vuitton bags and you ain't got a home in your name, a car in your name, your bills are behind. Like, delusional, out of order. Do not talk about being a high value man when you got all these babies out here and baby mamas out here and just you can't even hold a conversation. You're not high value. Like, let it go. Let those terms be out of your mouth. People are so invested on titles that they say fuck moral character. And I think that that's where we have messed up, literally. I had an episode that just dropped with this guy. He's 72 years old and he has lived through segregation, desegregation, sitting in the back of the bus. And one thing that he said is that, you know, we have lost out on just basic morals and having good character, being a good man, being a good woman. Like, that is the goal. Not being a bad bitch, not being a high value man, but just being a good person inside. Like, just doing the right thing, literally doing the right thing, having morals and characters. Make that great again. Having morals, having character. I'm just a good guy. I'm just a good woman. Make that great again. Listen, y'all, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed what that clip that Funky talked about. And, you know, at the end of the day, I still do not believe that this city girl mentality culture is of the majority. I don't. Let me know what you think about the city girl culture. Make sure you leave a comment. Let's have some good conversation in the comment section. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.